So hi, welcome. My name is Scott C. Campbell. I'm the founder of affectingpeopleslives.com and also the vision behind the Motivate and Inspire 2015 event, which is going to happen this year in September. And this is my nomination video because I've been nominated for award in the Women Inspiring Women Awards under the Knight in Shining Armour category. Absolutely gobsmacked to be nominated. Thank you, Tabitha Pascoe. It's got so much grateful for the nomination and really was gobsmacked and still am a little bit, to be honest with you. But so here's my nomination video, and so first off, I'm going to kind of relate this whole. I'm not going to do a whole big pitch about myself. I've seen some other nominations because I didn't know what to do actually. So I looked at some others on YouTube from the last few years. Didn't really want to do a big pitch about myself. I really wanted to share kind of how I work with my female clients, and because that's very fitting obviously to with the Women Inspiring Women, and probably gives you a reason why I've been nominated for this award. And but first of all, it's a great award ceremony. It's one of the great things about being nominated, and hopefully I'll be shortlisted, because just to come to the event is amazing. I'd love to actually just come anyway, because and it's funny with Tabitha being a damsels director of Chelmsford and working with Jules as well, the director of the damsels in Enfield, who always says that I make a good damsels director, and I think it really fits in with the client and the way that I am and the way I work with my clients, and so it's quite fitting that I've been nominated the award. Also, kind of, there is a bit of a link with damsels really. When I first come across Tabitha, I'd already heard about damsels in success and Lucy Bradbury, because I've got quite a few of Dan's husband Dan Bradbury's products on my shelf, and you probably can't see them in here because we're just literally in the office in the studio here, just shooting this quickly. But we've got some of his products here. There's a 7-figure expert one, the business coaching extreme. On here, the little picture, I don't know if you can see it, but reminds me, it's the 3 top influencers that are in my business. I like to remind me about keep me sharp and keep me focused. Dan is actually, his picture's in the middle there. If that gets me shortlisted as a nomination, by the way, great, but better cool. But let's just talk about really why I think I've been nominated with this award. Is really about how I work with my female clients, and funny enough, in my industry, I find a lot of men go with men in their industry with mentors, and I'm come under the field of mentor and marketing strategist expert, and not really sort of separate myself a little bit from the coaches. But women get attracted to having women coaches and men with men coaches and so forth, and it's so a bit unusual where most of my clients are female. And a lot of that, I think, is one of the honesty and integrity that I have with my own business about giving first and then sort of receiving later. But also, I'm very driven around building my business around my family and my family life. I absolutely love spending time with my wife and my kids. I've got 3 kids now, and since I had a 15-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 21-month-old little girl, and since we've had little Leah, 20 months, it's even more important that I build my business around my family and spend time with them. I think that relates to a lot of women also, because I understand about the getting to school on time, getting back to pick them up from school, because I only work a 30-hour week, and I'm very strict on that, and I'm really strict about taking my oldest one is in secondary school, so it's not an issue because he gets a taxi to school. But my middle one, Callum, at 10, with him, I like to take him to school and I like to pick him up from school, and that takes a big pressure off my wife. So I understand I think with a lot of females that are mothers, wives and so forth, that understand how they have to juggle their business with their work, with their home life, to make that work. And I think that's why the business success workshop I do with Tabitha, the creating a work-life balance, is really amazing, because we do that, and it's and I think that's a big thing really with the females, and why they're drawn to me, is because they know that I understand that, and that comes across very clearly at the start. And I like to help them build their business and generate their business and take it to where they want around the lifestyle I want. So remember when Tabitha first come to me and we first talked about what she wants, she wanted to give up her HR job in London to spend more time at home with her very supporting husband Steve and her lovely little daughter Charlotte, and which is a big ask, as a big, to get her, but that's where we're at, and she's doing that. And I think that I understand that with what females have to go through, because I myself put myself in that shoes where I put my family first, and then I put my business plan around my family, like my life plan. So what I share just quickly really then, so rather than doing a big push, I think the other big thing as well is where I have a lot of integrity, and I'm very humbled a lot of things is for me, you know, I won't go through the whole story because it's not about making you cry on these things, but but you know, everything was good for me. You know, for me, you know, growing up and in a job and everything like that, I was good at sports and stuff like that. So it was kind of and a good, you know, upbringing. It wasn't a bad childhood. So it wasn't one of these, you know, where I'm going to go, I was abused, you know, and stuff like that. I had a pretty good childhood. And as I went into my adult life, it was, you know, it was very good. You know, you know, and then I found, you know, the woman of my dreams, and we've had lovely kids and all that and since. So, but we kind of went to the stage a few years back where I kind of just had 3 years really where everything went wrong. And I think the fact that that has happened has made me even stronger and actually even more related more to my clients as well when making them success and building it. You know, so we've done it. You know, we lost all the you know, unfortunately, you know, sort of lost my younger brother, and my dad had cancer, and we ended up losing the house, you know, and so we've been all through that, you know, and I just use that now as fuel, you know. And when you know, you always kind of, you probably sat there, and if you're married and you think, you know, you always sort of have that conversation with each other where you say, you know, it doesn't matter what goes on, because as long as we've got each other and a roof over our heads and the kids with us, then we'll be happy. Unfortunately, I suppose that, you know, that really was the case. You know, we ended up in that situation, and actually, it was a big stress release for us. You know, and for me, I realised actually, you know, this is the be all and end all. It is the women, it is the family, and supporting my wife and my kids. And you know, when we had another little girl after all this time, and we went through the difficulties of the pregnancy and almost lost my wife and little Leah as well during the birth. You know, that really hits home in a lot of ways, but it makes me. I don't use that to kind of cry on and go, oh, I've had a hard life and all that. I've used it to say, well, actually, I've done that. You know, that's happened. We've got through it. But what it does do is it allows me to understand my clients. And I think with female clients, there's more that goes on in their life where they can't shrug it off as easy as what some men do and put a facade up. So I think that's where I really relate across and come across, and it works really well. Now, so rather than going into a big thing, but this is what I do, my clients, I do all these amazing stuff, and I do this, and I'm unique at this and all that, I'm just going to kind of, because I think it'd be obviously more female oriented, I'm going to share 3 things really in how I work with my female clients, particularly female coaches, and how I work with them, which kind of really makes them success, and we build a really strong relationship. And the first one is about self-belief really, and you know, Tabitha is a great example. You know, I don't think of her as a client anymore. I think of her as a good friend, and that shows you how our relationships blossom. We do business workshops together now. We do courses together. We've got our retreat in the Shard that we do together. So, you know, we're very much aligned. But one of the things the first thing with Tabitha that I do with a lot of the female clients is I believed in her, and you know, and when Tabitha comes on to be this amazing female leader, which I know she's going to become. So watch out for that name, and get in there now while you can before she gets tied up with too many clients and hasn't got time, because she's going to make a big difference to the female world in her lifetime, and leave a real legacy. And I'm absolutely sure of that. And one of the things now was, if I can go back to one thing where I helped her, it wasn't all the marketing strategies. It wasn't coming out this marketing strategy or this product profile and fitting it in. It was really about, I believed in her very first. You know, I got a real gut feel, I got a sense of feel that we're very much aligned, and I just literally, it was the belief that I had in her, and kept going. And if I had to say one thing, I think that was it. So I think self-belief is the first part with my female clients, which is something that I give them. And it's a funny, strange one, because I do a lot of stuff with giving incredible self-belief now as part of a one-to-one program that I do. But one of the things is it amazes me that there's a lot of females entrepreneurs that's trying to start a business, and they're really lacking in that sort of belief and whatever. But actually, it's not about having the self-belief to achieve all these massive goals. You know, they do. You know, most females doing amazing stuff. You know, just getting kids ready for school, just getting them picked up on time, and dealing with that stress of the playground, and with all the other mothers in there and everything. You know, and just dealing with getting the kids time, getting them fed, you know, getting them bathed and getting them in bed on time, you know, that whole thing. There's loads of different things that you achieve. And if you sat down at the end of the day and said, wow, you know, it's amazing, I actually got them to school on time, got them dressed, got them up, got them fed, got them, you know, their teeth cleaned and everything, got them washed, got them to school on time. you know, and even with all the last minute things they said they needed for school today, you know, got them picked up from school okay, you know, got them home, got them fed, got them washed, got them in bed, you know, they've done their homework. You know, there's loads of amazing things that you've achieved just in every single day, you know, and it's, you've got to be able to sit down at the end of the day and just sort of say, wow, great, I've achieved that. So that's one thing about giving people self-belief, really understanding and appreciating what they're doing already to give them self-belief. The second big one is about the journey. Now, most women that especially women coaches, that they've gone through a journey and they want to share that with other people and help other people that are having the same struggles in life. Now, one of the things that I think that I do with female clients, particularly, is actually what I call a product profile, and building up products and making sure that they're positioning themselves with the women that are just gone through that journey or going through that journey, rather than where they are now. So whereas a lot of women have done the journey, have been on the journey, they've kind of come through it and they've gone, right, now I want to help other women in the same scenario. They keep talking a lot about the end of the journey, when actually they need to talk about and position at the start of the journey, because that's where their clients are now and that's where the people that need them most are. So one thing I do is help them position themselves to people that are at the start of the journey and just going through that journey, because that's when they really do need their help. The women that have already gone through the journey are just going to be friends with them because they're saying, oh, we've got, you know, a lot in common because we've both gone through this and blah, and come through it. But they're never going to become your clients because they've already gone through that journey themselves. If you really want to help the people that have, you know, gone through the same journey as yourself, then you need to position yourself really at that kind of, where at the start of the journey, and understand, try and remember where you were at the start of the journey, because that's when they're going to need you most, your clients. And if you do that, you will kind of have, you'll attract people to you. And the third part of the big one really is kind of setting without setting, and putting process it. Right, so most female entrepreneurs, and actually, and I class myself in this business, don't actually like the setting thing and being hard sales. That doesn't work anymore. This world is different now. The hard sell days have gone. Yes, you'll see people still do it that will get clients through doing a quick hard sell, but you know what, they won't have clients very long and they get caught out very quick. So that doesn't work anymore. What you've got to do is really sell, and sell with honesty and integrity. And one of the things that I put in place with my clients is how to sell without selling, and that's about having strong call to actions. And it's ironic with a lot of my clients will say, you know, yeah, you know, they come to me because, you know, you've never really sold, but you're getting clients, and you know, and ironically, I sell all the time, because what I do is I put strong call to actions in, and I put options in for the clients. And what I do with my clients and female clients is taking them out of the equation, so that we go through a process, and particularly that one-to-one consultation process. That is really key, because there's no point you having a consultation with someone and giving them, you know, blowing their socks off and they're thinking you're the world. You then, for them, and not just for you, and this takes you out of the equation, is then have options, 3 options in how they can work with you. So it takes you out of having to do the hard sell. You can go to them like, these are the 3 options. As an adult, you have to choose which one's right for you and which one's right for your commitment and which one's right in your budget, and you decide, and that's great. But here are the options of how we can work together moving on. And actually, when you do that, then what you do is you take out that setting in it, and that's something that female entrepreneurs and particularly female coaches really struggle with, because it goes against the nature, you know, to go, oh, you know, I'll give you all this help, you know, I'll make you, you know, I'll deal with this issue and deal with that issue and make you feel great. Oh, and by the way, here's my fee, and they really struggle with that, and I totally understand that. So part of my job to build the business around them, turn it into a coaching business, or that whatever business they're in, to turn it into a business, is to come up with them processes which takes them out of the equation themselves. So that's really the 3 ways I think that aligns me to women particularly. So it'd be great to come to the awards and hopefully be nominated and shortlisted. So I've been nominated. Thank you very much to Tabitha and all the Damsels team. I absolutely love the Damsels model. It's a shame I can't go regularly. I hate it when Tabitha and Jules keep telling me about their Damsels meetings, because actually it makes me want to go, but unfortunately I don't own a dress, so people might notice. I think the beard might give it away slightly. But anyway, but hopefully every night and have a great time at the awards those that are going, and thank you once again, Tabitha, for nominating it. Really, really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And hopefully see you soon at the awards, everyone.